Hello out there and welcome to the second episode of my Let's Play Minecraft series. In the last episode we made a skeleton farm, a cow farm, a cactus farm and a wheat farm. And between the last episode and this one we actually went to the nether, and so we got nether quartz, and that means we can make comparators now. And therefore I'm down at the skeleton farm where I just want to make a few improvements. As you see, we had this crusher thing that goes out and then it goes back, only damaging them 3 times. And so with comparators we can actually do better than that. Let's just get a bit of space back here. So with comparators you can make sort of a longer signal, right? Because this signal length only damages them 3 times and we want to damage them a bit more. So if we do like this, then the signal coming in here will be repeated by the comparator. The comparator actually sends out the same signal that it gets as an input, so just 1 tick later. So this adds like a 1 tick sort of repetition of the signal, which means that this will have some signal, and then this will be the same signal. 1 tick later we get this signal, and then it'll go 1 down here, and then go into this one. 1 tick later it'll go out here as the same, but then it'll go 1 down here. So that means as the signal runs around in a loop here, we get it to be longer and longer, and we can put a block there to power that redstone right there. So this already should be quite a bit longer. Yeah, you saw that was quite a bit longer. We actually want the signal, the skeletons have 20 hit points, and so we want to damage them 19 times, and we can do that by putting in, our in-game roommate has been mining here, putting in 6 comparators like this, and now it'll actually damage them 19 times. So now we have another problem, and that is that this fall that they go down is actually 3 blocks. Go away. Is actually 3 blocks, which means they already take 1 hit point of damage. And we could put a ladder up there, but the problem with ladders is that you can actually stand on top of them, and the skeletons would sort of bunch together up there and never go down. Another way to do is place a vine there. Vines actually don't have a hit block, so they can't stand on top of them, but it will slow their fall, as you saw right there. So with this improved skeleton farm, we can actually damage them 19 times and then hit them once with our sword, saving a lot of durability on our looting sword, which we, by the way, got. So yeah, this is a pretty good improvement. We actually also want to use our looting sword on the cow farm that we had, so we need to go over there and implement the same system over there. And here we are. Cows actually only have 10 hit points, so we can make this quite a bit smaller. We only need 2 comparators, but this will do the 9 amounts of damage, and then we can hit them 1 time with our looting sword and get all the goodies from them. On to the next order of business. We have here our wheat farm that we built last episode, and it's completely full, but you will notice that not all of this is wheat, actually only every second row. So when you plant things in rows like this, they will grow much faster if they aren't completely surrounded by the same type of crop. So this is pretty optimal for what I wanted to do. And what we have here is of course wheat, but we also have what's called beetroot, and that's because one of the shops that we want to build today is a soup kitchen, and we can actually make soup from these beetroot right here, and so we're gonna bring them back. And because it's a soup kitchen, the other type of thing we want to make is a mushroom stew, which is another type of soup. The easiest way to make mushroom stew is by using mushrooms, And luckily, another person on the server already found a mushroom island. So we're gonna go there now, and then we're gonna find a mooshroom, and then we're gonna transport it back to around here. So I'll catch up with you when I get to the island. So here we are on the mushroom island, the only place where you can get these mooshrooms, which are these ones. And also, as you'll notice, it's night and no mobs are spawning on mushroom islands, so this might make a good base area later. The way I like to transport these mobs, because we need to move them quite far, is actually via boats. So if I can just place this one down, you'll see that the mooshroom went into the boat, and now I can sort of sail the boat, and the mooshroom will stay with me. So now I can just sail him all the way back to the farming area and then make a farm with him. So I'll just do that. Now that we have our mooshroom safely back to the farming area, let's build a tiny little mooshroom farm, or mushroom stew farm, I guess you'd say. So the idea is we'll have like a hopper here that the mooshroom will stand on, but if you notice, you can actually fall a bit down into the hopper. We don't want that. So we can put a carpet on top of it, like that. Now you can't fall down into it. And then this is where the mooshroom will be. So let's see if we can move it to there without hurting it. Like this. And then we move the mooshroom into place. Slowly. Like that. And now we got our mooshroom safely placed where we wanted. So we're almost done now, actually. We just need to go down here and place a chest or something like that right underneath the hopper. And that's the farm, actually. Very small, very simple. So like this. And now, if you didn't know, when you have an empty bowl in your hand and you right click on a mooshroom, you get mushroom stew right here. If your inventory is full then of something else, then the stew would actually just be thrown right in front of you, where the hopper will pick it up, and that way we can quickly make a lot of mushroom stew, which is perfect. Oh, we're out of bowls. By pure luck, another shop actually just opened up. This is the spruce shop, where we can buy 32 logs for 1 diamond, which is perfect for us because we need to craft a bunch of bowls. I've also talked to the owner of the sugarcane farm and gotten permission to purchase some of his sugarcane. Usually when there's a patent on a farm, only the owner is allowed to use it, and even you can't purchase things from it. But in this case I've gotten permission. And we need the sugarcane because we need to make a bunch of paper also. And we'll see why in a couple of moments. Okay, now let's get to the building of the first shop of today. I already got a spot picked out over there, so we'll just start by purchasing a plot here. We pay for them it costs 6 diamond, the one I wanna purchase. So we take a shop license and an item frame, and then we can go over here. It's close to another shop being built, and the torch shop, which I hope means there'll be a lot of exposure. We're just gonna take this sign down because now we purchased it. And then I brought a bunch of resources that we're gonna need to build our shop. The first thing I want to do is just clear out a little bit of this terrain, and then we can get to building the redstone and then the building of the exterior of the shop. So I'll just clear this out and then be back. Okay, now that we got that cleared out, we can get to working on the actual shop. So I'm envisioning a door around here, and then you enter in, and this is gonna be a soup kitchen actually. So the way that we're gonna have the functionality be is we'll have like a bucket here that you can throw in a food stamp, and then the food stamp will go into a system that we're gonna build here in a second, and then it will dispense to you about 8 soups that you get for 1 food stamp. And we'll have to set the prices a bit later when we figure out how that's all gonna go. So I like to build on andesite redstone so that you don't accidentally break the blocks, because they look like normal blocks. So we'll build on polished andesite. I also just like how the block looks. And so what will happen is we'll have a hopper down here, which will suck up whatever lands in this bucket, in this cauldron. And then we have a regular item filter back here. This will detect when there's items in it. This needs to be andesite, so we can distinguish it. Like that. We need 2 bits of redstone. And back here we need a repeater, and I brought those here to take the signal out of this block. We need another andesite and a torch there with andesite on top. So this block will be powered, meaning that whatever's in this next hopper won't move. And let's just set that up. So this is the collection. The food stamps will all collect in here, so we can empty this and put them back out for reselling. So when somebody throws something in this item filter, it'll just go through right now, because no, it won't go through right now, right? Because it's locked. This repeater makes sure that this one doesn't, or this torch makes sure that this one doesn't work. So we need to put in 21 random items, which could be dirt. We'll put in something else later. And then 1 item that we actually want to filter, which will be the food stamps. But I need to rename the paper first. So with that done, we can move on, and here you just come in here and throw in your in this case stone now, and you can see this repeater turns on, so the next stone that I throw in will actually go through the system. Whoa, if I can hit it like that. So that stone should have landed down here, which it did, in the hopper first and now in the chest. And however many I throw in here, they will go down into this chest. Okay. We also want when people throw in something, they should get out the soups that they paid for, and we're actually going to do that with these droppers. So over here we'll have 2 droppers facing up, and the floor is going to be right around that level. So these will point into nothing, meaning they'll dispense all over the floor, but that's fine. We can live with that. The way we're going to take an output is from this torch, actually. So we just put 1 redstone over here, taking the output. We invert that signal once, and then make it go into this. And over here, we're going to have a burnout clock, it's called. Oh, andesite. Where we have a torch pointing into a block that will then power itself. So that will dispense 8 times each time that gets an update. It might seem a little bit complicated, but it's pretty simple components individually. and I might be explaining them really badly. Okay, but so now if we put in a lot of soups in this hopper, they will spew out the top here, and we can actually put, because of the way I've designed this, we can put a bunch of hoppers with chests facing into this one, so we can have a lot of soups stored up, which we need because soups take up a lot of space. Yeah, so that's the redstone behind this little contraption. We'll have a similar little small thing for where when people have eaten their soup, we would like to get the bowls back if we could. So we'll just place a cauldron with a hopper pointing into a chest, and that'll be our trash can, and we'll place that near the entrance. But in order to be able to place that properly, I probably need to build like the rest of the building. Okay, I'll admit I'm not a very good builder, but this will have to do. Now let's see if it works. You come in here, you go over here and purchase food stamps. I have this one for testing. And then you can throw this food stamp in this bucket to receive 8 soups of mixed kinds. That works, perfect. Now let's put in the trash can, and the only place there's really space for it is over here. And so we'll have to place a chest around here where the empty bowls will collect, then a hopper, and then a cauldron. And then we have to put a sign saying trash. Empty bowls. Like this. And the shop's done. And whenever we have a shop that's done in the city, we have to put in a shop license. This was the one we purchased when we got the plot, and it allows us to sell up to 5 item types. But that's fine, we're only selling, well, technically 3, because we sell both food stamps and soup. But that's fine. Yeah, that's this shop done. Let's move on to the next one. For our next shop, we need a lot of quartz, and so I just went to the nether and got like more than 2 stacks of blocks that I'm gonna be fortuning in a moment. But I thought the view from up here was pretty good, so over there we have the farming area, and over here we have the city with the torch shop and the shop that we just built and the other shop that we could see, and that's someone's base over there. But I'm gonna be fortuning this, and then we'll get back to the building. So the second shop of today, I actually want to build in one of the city's most high-end plots, and that's this one right here. It's right next to the center, so I'm just gonna purchase it right now, like this, and then we're gonna just start building. Generally, I won't do 2 shops in one episode, but we didn't do a shop in the previous episode, so I'll do 2 in this one. Oh. Let's see where's about the middle. It'll be here. Okay, so the second shop we're gonna build is a lot less redstone-y. If you look over here, you can get sort of a hint as to what we're gonna sell. This shop is gonna be a butcher, or a butcher shop. And I want to do it sort of simple, but with a lot of clean materials. All of this quartz, except for this one, we actually got from this trip that we just took to the nether. And we're going to use these to sort of build a very nice, very clean looking shop, because butchers are usually very clean looking in my experience at least. So we'll do something like this. Yeah, exactly like that. Let's just remove that sign too. And then this is going to be our entrance, where you can sort of look directly into the shop, and here we're gonna have a counter with some things in it, and the only thing we're gonna sell right now is raw meat, because it's a butcher shop, we're not gonna cook it, right? So we're gonna sell raw beef like this. And then we'll have like a counter with glass in it and stairs underneath. It's gonna look really nice. So I'm just gonna build a little more here, and then I'll get back to you when it's close to done. And it's done. We don't currently have any rabbit's meat, but when we get it, I'll put it in there. But otherwise, yeah, it's a pretty clean looking shop. We have some meat in here. And of course, when we have a shop that's done, we need to put in our shop license. Like this. Yeah, it's just a clean looking white building. 16 raw meat for 1 diamond. And as you can see, we have some semi-hidden lighting back there. I mean, you can only see it where the chest is. Yeah. And that'll actually be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully see you back later. Bye.